Hey, good morning, guys. Sorry it's been a little bit. We missed you guys last week, but you know, there's only so many hours in the day, so had to pick and choose a little bit. So we've been pretty busy, been working hard to get the Hoffman place ready. So that's coming. Not quite there yet, but coming. And we've been loading out the hog barns. So that's the other big thing that's been going on now amidst all the other stuff. And we're almost done. Next week, we have our last loads go out. There's 2 more loads last week, and then the site will be empty. And today we're actually washing down the second barn. So after every batch, we wash down the whole barn gets disinfected, and then we get ready for little pigs. So actually tomorrow, we have little pigs coming. So have a little bit of welding to do yet in the first barn, and then we'll be ready for little pigs. Hopefully the feed's coming, should be here. Oh, maybe it looks like it already came. So anyway, yeah, let's see how it goes today. I'm also trying out a new pair of boots today. As you guys know, we're pretty hard on rubber boots around here. I wear my rubber boots every single day. So we're gonna try out another pair of rubber boots here. This is some boots from Hisea, and they reached out and said, hey, you guys want to try these boots out? So I said, sure, let's give it a shot. These are the steel-toed version. I always wear steel-toed rubber boots. Got my foot smashed a couple years ago, and ever since then I decided we're gonna stay with the steel-toed boots. At the time, I was wearing the only pair of boots that I had that were not steel-toed, and because it was snowy out and I wanted my rubber boots on. So I had my rubber boots and got my foot smashed. So anyway, steel-toed boots for us. We're gonna try these guys out. These are a lot lighter weight boots. Normally I'm a dry shod guy, so we've been wearing the dry shod steel-toed rubber boots for years, and yeah, thought maybe it's worth trying something else out here. So we're gonna give these things a shot today and see how they hold up. So as you can see, we took off another coating of our hay yesterday. We baled this up. The wrapper's coming later today. We're gonna get this all wrapped. We baled some of it dry, some of it we got less than 20% moisture, but this stuff and the stuff on the wagon was like 20 to 30% moisture, so we're gonna need to wrap that. Plus we're running out of indoor storage, so this will work good to wrap it. So we're gonna wrap those bales later today and put them outside. I should just take a look over here and see if we can find a spot to lay these things down. I think you can see here that we already have a row of wrap bales here. So I think the plan is that we're gonna try to put one more row along that row. Gotta mow that grass quick. But that's the plan, put one more row there. We don't really wanna get up on the ag bag pad because we need that space too. So I think we can make it work there without getting too much in the mud down there. We'll have to see, but let's go check and see how we're making out here with the wash down. Wash down crew has their trailer there. Whew. Looks like it's going pretty good. Bit drippy. Whew. So you can see this side they have washed down already. It's all clean, and this side is not done yet. So once they finish up this side, they'll jump to the other side. All right, they got that under control. So we have another company come in and do this wash down, and they oops, there's a hose in there. Yeah, they got a pretty nice setup. They can roll in here. They have 2 or 3 guys all with pressure washers, and it makes it go pretty fast. So that's been working out pretty good, and they'll have that finished up today here. So like I said, this barn is already empty. We finished that out last week, and second barn we just emptied out yesterday, and So we just have a few pigs left at the last barn. I'm gonna go down and check on them real quick, make sure they're doing all right. We try to move some pigs around at the end to finish out feeders, so it takes a little extra time, but otherwise it's getting pretty simple to go through the barns here because there's just not that many pigs. So normally with my other rubber boots, I use some inserts that help to support my higher arch, my feet just can't handle rubber boots all day long if I don't have something like that. So anyway, I always run those in the other boots. I thought I'd try it without a little bit here on these boots, see if that works out, but I have a feeling I'm probably gonna wanna go grab them and put them back in this boots. You know, rubber boots aren't always great support, but with a little bit of support in the insole, that's how I make it work, because like I said, I'm in my rubber boots every day, all day, most days. So let's check on these pigs. So it's looking pretty empty on this side. You can see we already cleaned out all these front pens, and we try to get the feeders empty. So once the feeder empties, then I move the pigs to another pen. That way we can get the feeders all emptied out. The bummer is if you have feed left in the feeders, we just have to dump it, so then we waste it. So let's see how we got a little bit left in there. Check these other guys down. So these guys have feed, but these guys need some. So I'll have to run some more feed in there, I think. All right, we got some pigs moved around, and the feeders that have feed are shut off, and the feeders that need feed are turned on. So we're gonna go and run some feed in. We're just gonna do this manually this time. Normally these feeders run automatically, but because of what we're doing with trying to keep the feeders, or to finish out the feeders, we've been just running them manually. So we'll see how we're doing on this side. So you can see also got a lot of empty pens over here, but I have a few more pigs on this side. All right, we got some feed running in there. I'll let those feeders run for a little bit, and then I'm gonna shut them off again, and we'll wait and see how the pigs clean it up for tomorrow. So the reason why we have to get the feed kind of like tuned to finish out at the end is because we get feed by the truckload here, these bins, and we have 6 different rations that we feed. So the ration that they're on at the end is not the ration that we want to feed at the beginning. So we have to have the bins empty to start the new batch for when the little pigs come. So if we don't tune it perfect and finish out the bin right as we finish out loading out, then they have to come and vac it out. They have a feed truck that can vacuum out the feed. So they take it, vacuum it out of the bin, and take it to another farm to be used there. So, but that's an extra hassle. Obviously, if we don't have to, it's not possible to hit that every time. It's kind of like expecting a home run every time, but we can sure try. So we've been ordering accordingly. We try to figure out how many pigs are there, how much they're eating, how many days they're gonna be here till they load, and kind of get an idea on how much to order. So we ordered a partial batch, partial load, last order down there. So hopefully it'll hold out. So if you want to know some boots that are not good, look at these boots. I got these boots a couple weeks ago, and I've been wearing them, you know, every day in the hog barn here and to load out. And look, this is what always happens. They're already cracked out. You see that? It's like a huge crack right there. That literally happened after only a couple weeks. This one's starting, look at that, right there. So I don't know what's going on with Tingley here, but their boots just don't last. At least they don't last in the hog barn for more than a couple weeks. So generally we don't wear boots that are in the hog barn out of the hog barn. We don't wear boots that are out of the hog barn in the hog barn, but for the sake of this trial today, I wanted to try these in the hog barn, so we're just gonna scrub them up good, put a little disinfect on them, and see if we can keep wearing them for the day here. So we generally have these dip pans that we use, try to keep any bugs, any germs from coming in and out on boots. So dip those up good. We're off to the next. Man, it's been so humid out the last couple days, last couple weeks here actually, and just feel like you're wet all day long. But speaking of being wet, Hisea actually also makes hip waders for fishing and hunting, and Jaron got to try out a pair of those also. So he took them out the other day, they did a little fishing, and we got some video, so I'll show you that here real quick.
Okay, so today Tegan and I are out here on the Conestoga River. We're going to try out our new waders that we got sent to us by Hisea, and hopefully we're going to catch some carp today. So today we're going out for some carp. So all we got on here is a little size 6 J bait keeper hook on there, and a couple of split shots a few inches underneath that, and we're gonna put some corn on there and hopefully catch some carp on that. So yeah, these waders have a lot of nice pocket space out here to put all your stuff in, and then there's also a little pocket on the inside here that you can put, like, I don't know, the phone or whatever, something that you don't want to fall out. It has a little zipper there. And then what I like to do for my net is just put it right through there, and that holds it. So the river is a little bit high and murky today, so we'll have to see how good it is for wading, but I think we'll be fine. Look at this, we got a whole flock of geese. Oh, and a great blue heron too. Okay, nice. Yeah, the water's definitely not as murky as I thought it was gonna be, so that's a good sign. There they go.
So I'm not very big into fishing, so I'm just out here being the cameraman. But we'll see if I can catch anything today or not. I do not have the luxury of the waders, so I'm just getting soaked right now, but it's okay.
Just caught this little, whoops, this little minnow. He was floating in the water. It's kind of interesting. There he goes. Okay, so right here is where we're gonna be fishing. There's a bunch of carp that like to hang out underneath these logs. So we're just gonna throw a handful of corn out in front of them there and put some corn on our hooks. See if we can't get one to come out. I'm not sure how this water will affect fishing, but we'll just have to get some lines in the water and see how it is. We got some canned corn right here. Just take a handful of that. I'm afraid it might just drift away a little bit, but if we throw it far enough back in there, I think we might be able to get some to land on the bottom. The goal is to get those carp to come out from under the log and start feeding in the corn where our bait will be. So yeah, we're just putting a bunch of these pieces of corn on here. I think some of our corn made it to the bottom, hopefully, but I'm not 100% sure. But this will get one if they're there. So, not totally sure if the corn is actually staying in place or not. It might have been fish, might have been a frog, I don't know. Like there's like 100 damselflies that are just sitting right here on this algae. Tons of little damselflies just sitting on this algae here. We just saw something splash back here. It could have been a carp or maybe it was just a frog or something, but it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know. Maybe we should just try bass fishing. It seems like it'll be kind of hard to even know if the carp are here unless we catch one, I guess. But the bass will probably be a little bit more spread out. Sometimes when the water is high, it can kind of stir up a lot of bait and stuff, so the fish might be a little bit more active. Okay, well this spot doesn't seem to be producing any fish. So I think we might head back to the car, tie up a little bit of bass lures, see if we can't just catch one off the bank up there. But that's a bit of a bummer because this spot, I was here with my one friend Eli. It was probably about like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And there was a bunch of carp under there, probably at least like 10 or 15 of them. And we had some good luck then. I mean, the water was a lot clearer then as well. But yeah, we got 2 carp. I got one, he got one. Mine was 11 pounds, just a little over 11. His was, I think it was just under 10. But yeah, we can show you guys the pictures that I'm on screen. So hopefully we have some more luck with the bass though. Yeah, so these waders are nice and flexible material, so mobility is still pretty good, but it also provides great stability in the water, especially with all these rocks. Tegan can tell you, I've been kind of tripping on a bunch of them, but it definitely makes it easier to stay on foot when you have these waders on. There's a little bit more traction in the water. Okay, so we just went back to the spark and tied on some different hooks. We have some live crayfish on. We're gonna try to go for some smallmouth just off the bank here. Yeah, see what we can't get. Okay, well it seems to be drifting pretty good, so that's a good sign. Now we just need a fish to see it.
All right, we got some more bales to bring home, so looks like Dad's loaded up. We're gonna head in and grab the bales. Look at this. So yesterday I was pulling the skid loader on the trailer and the frame cracked here. It had actually been cracking for a little while, but we finished it off yesterday. So we got this all welded up this morning. Josh did that. Put a little reinforcement plate in there. That looks awesome. Should be good to go. He even painted it. Looks perfect. We put a plate on this side too, just for extra precaution. So finishing up feeding. Hopefully we'll get that done, finished up soon. And then we're on to wrapping bales. I think I am gonna use my other boots. I think I'm gonna grab these insoles out of here and throw them in for the rest of the day. See how that works. These are my old Dr. Scholl's inserts, but they have this plastic kind of arch support in there. I like these, but definitely time for some new ones. So the boys have been making some upgrades on their little mini bike.
Much improved of the new torque converter. And it's got a depth trap anymore, so there's a cover on it.
Nice.
Runs good. Got some new boots on there?
Yeah, I got my new boots on.
Nice.
Let's see some wheelie action. So we're also hauling some manure today out of our steer liquid pits, and they just finished the one pit. Oh, got splashed. And we're switching the pump over to the pit here at home, and I'm gonna give them a ride here quick. So let's see if they can get this pump in. So as you can see, we got some weeds growing in there. So the first thing to do is get that stirred up. So these pits will get a crust on the top, and that's intended. That helps to keep kind of some of the smell down and everything like that, to keep the crust on the top there. So the first thing we have to do is get it spun up and get it all stirred up. That way we don't just pump out the liquid on the bottom. Switched over to pumping. They're filling the tank now, but you can see as it starts to agitate, the whole thing starts to spin. Kind of makes you dizzy when you look in there at it. But this these chunks will break up as we spin it around. Tank is full, so all right, I think we got a plan. We actually slid this tube of bales over a little bit to try to make some room here, and we're gonna fill in a gap over here where we used some bales out of this one row already. So hopefully we can get them fit in here and not get too close to the ag bags. But we'll see how it goes. Time to get wrapping, and I'll show you what we're doing here. So we're gonna fill up this area in here where we use these bales already. And we're gonna push them bales, but push it right down into there and go up against that row and then move out through. So we call this inline wrapping or tube wrapping. It's not individual wrapping. There are wrappers that wrap the bales individual, but this wraps them all in one line. It's a lot faster, a lot more efficient. The only bummer is that once it's down, it's down. You can't pick them back up or move them or anything, or sell them or anything. So it works pretty good for us. So that's what we've been doing for the last several years. Actually, we haven't individual wrapped for a long time, but it's been working out for us. The only problem is space. So you can't stack them too high or anything like that either. So see if we can get them fit in. So the benefit of wrapping bales is we can store them outside. It also allows us to bale it up a little bit wetter. And actually the fermented bale is pretty attractive for cattle too. So they really love to eat those bales. So that's another plus. But the main thing is that we have a little bit of fermentation that happens inside the wrap, and that preserves the bale. So that's why we wrap bales. When we can bale them dry, we do, but the problem then is storage. We have to have enough indoor storage that we can keep them dry. Well, it's starting to rain. It's go time in here. Austin's working on lamps. We got all the mats brought in already. So the mats are in. Jaden is working at cutting some of the spots we need to weld new bars in. And once we get those things done, we should be ready. So you can put your long arms to use. When Heather does this job, she has to stand up on the fencing, but not so with Austin.
At least you can get out of it this time.
There you go. All right, let's get some welding done here. Oh my. It's dumping now. Yeesh. I gotta go out there and get my rod holder. I left it in the truck. It is just dumping buckets out there. Once again, completely soaked. That seems like every day lately. Whether it's just so humid that we're sweating or whether it's raining, but at least we're under roof here. Try to get this welding done.
Yeah, it's like 6 inches of water on the whole entire thing. I was driving and you could see it splashing from the skid loader. It was just ridiculous. The boys were close. Somebody must have got it.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if Josh ran around, but he got the one close on the backside of the shop.
Oh, nice.
So.
All right, we got all that welding done down there. It didn't seem like a lot, but we did find a couple other spots we had to fix, so it took a little while. It's almost 7 o'clock, and I think it's time for supper. Catch you guys tomorrow. All right, good morning. A little bit left to do to get ready for little pigs. I'm running some feed in right now, last bit, in the room there, and the rooms are coming up to temperature, which is super nice. I got 2 of the three heaters working, but it's pretty warm out, so we don't have to fight that too bad. In the winter time, that's a major concern, but not today. So we're running some feed in, then we should be all set in there. I just have to clean out the utility room yet. We try to do this before little pigs come, disinfect the floor and everything. So we're gonna work at that a little bit, see if we can get this cleaned up. Trying to work from the top down, so I got my desk all cleaned up here, pushed that on the floor, so I think now we're ready to scrub the floor. I forgot. I do have one other thing I need to do, and that is flush out the water lines. And we normally run a little bit of chlorine in the water to do that. So I'm gonna get this tub filled up, put a little chlorine in it, and then we'll start running that through. Turn the water lines on, and I had a leak over here. So just need to replace this little nipple up here. These plastic fittings crack sometimes after you get a little older. Okay, let's try this again. Looks good. All right, I got some disinfectant mixed up here. We're gonna dump this on the floor and then do some more scrubbing. And the one last task, washing up all the boots. Usually I have some of the kids help me do this job, but just me here today, so we get to wash the boots. Alrighty, I think we're all cleaned up, ready for some little pigs. So just got a text from the truck driver. He said it's probably gonna be an hour or so, so I'm gonna go get some breakfast. All right, guys, well, we got those little pigs in, and that's just the first of a bunch more to come. So we got lots more of that coming in the next couple weeks. But just wanted to give a little wrap up on my new boots. So as you know, we were trying out these Hisea boots, and they seem pretty nice. They're definitely a lighter weight boot, and that's, I think, where the issue comes in for me. I wear these boots all the time, and I need kind of like a work boot, and that's rubber. And that's what's my other boots. These are my other boots, these guys. These are kind of like my work boots that are rubber. And so I think for rubber boots, these are doing great, and I think actually where I would like these the most is in the hog barn. So next up is to try my new boots out in the hog barn. We'll see how they hold up down there. As I told you guys, the tingly boots that we've been using down there just are not lasting. They don't last more than a couple weeks for me before they start cracking out. So I'm anxious to try these guys out down there, because I think these will be a lot better down there than those other boots. They have like a fabric internal surface here that I think may be more durable. The rubber feels more quality on these guys. It's a little bit softer, and I'm guessing that will be helpful in keeping them from cracking. So if you guys are interested in checking out some Hisea boots, I do have a link in the description. There's a discount code there you can use if you want to try some out. So check them out, check out their website. They got lots of different boot options, and maybe I'll check out some other boots from them too. We're gonna try them out in the hog barn next. We got 2 more loads next week to finish out loading out the hog barn. So we'll put them to use down there, and looking forward to getting load out finished up. But that's it for this week. See you guys next time.